What's up, Cardfighters? Clark here from Vanguard Central, coming at you with an OTK deck build.
Stand up, Vanguard!
You know, we've been talking about this deck for a while, and it's been doing really well in tournament. So this is the build that we decided to win with. So our grade 3 searcher right here, Warrior of Destiny Die, is meant to keep consistency of getting our grade 3s and just go into the soul, spending 1 CB, which isn't that bad in the deck because it does its job really well. So then we have 4 Cosmic Hero Grand Guard for unflipping purposes of the deck, plain and simple. 4 Stride Fodder, which is a Cosmic Hero Grand Rope, mainly because we do not want to ditch our 3s at all in this deck and want to conserve them in our hand. Next we have 2 Cosmic Hero Grand Ranger, our GB1 10k booster of the deck, who is universal in our Stride and in our Legion game that you'll see in a bit. So it comes out you know, pretty every so often, and helps out a lot because of the ability to just give 10k. So the numbers that we're pushing for are really high. Next we have 4 Commander Laurel. Basically rests 4 of your dimensional robo units if your attack hit, and then restand the Vanguard. So can change the game in 1 turn. I'm telling you, this guy is broken. I don't know why he was taken off the watch list, but you know, he's doing really well in America right now. So next we have 4 dimensional robo Daikaiser, our Gurren Lagann of the deck. So he's meant to help us stay with that grade 2 game in case we get rushed down and prevent like Aquaforce and stuff like that to gain advantage over us. Then we have 3 dimensional robo Dijet. Shuffle back a dimensional robo grade 3 into our deck and give the Vanguard +4. Then you can choose to, if you hit, counterblast 1 and draw off this card. So you never really use the counterblast. You kind of just give it the +4 to push for like a little bit more in increments of the number, but still helps out a lot with like our shield break of our deck. Next we have 4 Metalborg Urbuster. So it gives +4 when your unit legions, and if your Vanguard hits, you get to retire a card on your opponent's field. So that's really helpful considering the pressure that we want to expend during our Legion turns, because that will generally end the game at that point, depending on how many zeros your opponents hold. But anyways, we have 4 of our Break Ride, Super Dimensional Robo Daikaiser. So when a Dimensional Robo rides this, Counterblast 1 gives +10k to the unit, and you gain Shield Break, also a crit. So this is our win condition of the deck generally, because comboed with our other grade 3, which is Sin Buster, the numbers are just ridiculous, and you don't have a perfect guard to use at all. So even if you expend like 10 grade, like 10 zeros, 2 shield breaks or whatever, depending on the number, can really destroy what you're trying to do. And there's our break ride right there with Metalborgs Sin Buster. If he reaches 20k, you can draw a card, but if he reaches 30k, when he attacks the Vanguard, he has shield restriction, so you can't use perfect guard. So generally with the game state and how it is, an opponent won't have those zeros to defend like a 56k, 60k Sin Buster with a crit and a Laurel on the field. So you're just going to end the game in that turn. And the pressure of drawing and all that stuff, the pluses, is too great with Laurel on the field as well. So that's our win condition of the deck. Then we have 4 draw triggers. Pretty colorful considering Josh got Army Penguin and the Metalborg ones. Then we have 4 of our Justice Cobalt, because we enjoy justice and protecting the universe. And then 4 of our Metalborg Grass Cutter. This card can come in clutch because it can just push for numbers with Sin Buster as your Legion, so it gives it +6. So you're looking at numbers like, so Break Ride is 30, with a Grand Ranger is 40. With 2 of these, it's another +12 into the Vanguard, and then +8 if you have 2 Urbusters on the field. It's just, you're hitting for 50k almost every single turn. So an opponent's not going to be able to guard that with Shield Break. So that's how broken it is. And then we have 4 heal triggers, 2 being the Metalborg Nurse and 2 being Justice Rose, because Josh likes pink. So really good stuff from this deck. I've only seen really positive results from it. Next we have 2 Dimensional Robo Great Dire, meant to CB2, grab a grade 2 and a grade 3 from your deck and place it onto the field. If there's another Die Earth in your G zone, you can gain a crit, but that's like later on in the game, and normally you've already thinned enough in order to have your shield break and your OTK turn in place. So this card is meant to just fill your field against like brawlers or anything like that retires. So really reliable card. Next we have 2 of the Hyper Metalborg Heavy Duke, Heavy Poop as we say, because he can end the game in 1 turn as well. If you have 4 counterblasts and you don't have that OTK set up and you totally messed up and rode Sinbuster, you can just swing, your opponent can't guard with grade 1s or higher, and you just stack all triggers on him basically if you have enough to restand the field. So a really reliable card as well. So no ride is a bad ride, but you just want to sit on what's his name, Great Daikaiser, in order to get those plays and set it up a little bit later. Then we have our other win condition that can kind of push for game, and that's legendary Daikaiser Robo. Oh Jesus! Oh no, Dimensional Robo Daikaiser Leon, which is our GB2 Counterblast 1, unflip a copy of himself, and then he gains shield break for that turn. So with Laurel, you're just shield breaking the crap out of your opponent. If they have a PG, boom. I've won a game with this guy because my opponent placed down a perfect guard and like 41, like his shield was 41k, so I needed 2 shield breaks and a 5k trigger just to pass, and luckily I got it. So that was a pretty sacky day, and in my defense, but you know, he can really come in clutch if your opponent doesn't give you that break ride CB during that turn. And then we have 1 X-Rogue, 37k. You can choose one of your opponent chooses a card to retire on its field, and then you get to draw a card. So you can plus easily if you just place triggers on him, but you never really go into him unless you need to without the counterblast and stuff. And then we have X-Tiger, meant to for late game. If you don't have anything else and you just need a crit, you can just unflip X-Rogue, and then boom, there's your crit for free because it gains +4 for every card in the G zone. And that's basically like one of the most versatile G zones that I've seen for this build, just because of how consistent it's been the last few weeks we've been testing with it. Thank you guys for watching our OTK deck profile on a Metalborg. Great, you know, Dimensional Robo, just a mixture of things to just destroy your opponent, and Commander Laurel. If you have any questions, message us down below. Otherwise, this deck is really good in America, especially while the meta has slowed down in Chaos Breaker. And yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Vanguard Central out.